Well,
Welcome to the B2T show, where we empower Christian patriots with truth. This is Rick, your host. Here we are on Tuesday, April 28th. Welcome. How are you guys doing? We have all kinds of fun stuff going on here where I'm actually having to mute some people here that are backstage, but wow, it's been a challenging time, but we're going to have some fun here talking about the Underground War Details Part 7. We're getting into the symbology that you're going to find in a lot of these DUMBs, looking at that, and then we're going to be, I think in a future Part 8, we'll be getting into more. Gene will give a background on it, get into even updating the U.S., where he's found tons more decodes, and then we'll even get into the international. I know everybody's really chomping a bit at that as they're getting a lot more detail. So we have, this is probably going to be a 10-part series, I would guess at least, but we're going to get into Part 7 about the symbology, etc. We'll get into that here shortly, but we got to get through all the Q decodes first. How excited to see all that happening with a bunch of new Q at the same time that we have the Underground War details happening here. So again, this is going to be a great show. Excited about it, but I do need prayers for you because I've been attacked in all kinds of different ways. My son's visiting me. I was walking rocky. I fell down, scraped up my thing, scraped up my fingers. All the technology hasn't been working all day, but we've got it working now. And even though we're going live a little bit late, here we are on YouTube live as well, Zoom and backstage. So get backstage if you're there, especially at the end. We'll have a little bit of time with Gene to talk about this awesome decode. Okay, now here we go. I wanted to, I guess I want to say real quick thank you. I get a ton of people that have come on already and are talking for quite a while. But I just want to say thank you guys all for, it's so awesome to have everybody from all over the world. I see Montana and Florida and all over the world as well, in Australia, New Zealand, etc. Thank you for being from Georgia, Wilmington, Virginia. Just people from everywhere. Thank you, Kosensi and Gene, for doing the decode as well as being a moderator. And then we got Lou is the moderator. I see him on. See if I see any other moderators on. Thank you guys all for serving me. It's so awesome. Hey, Barbara Newell, good to see you as well. I'm just flipping through here. Central California is in the house. Alberta, Canada is in the house. Ontario, Canada is in the house. We got Canada the state of Florida as well. Everybody's well represented here. So let's get rolling on this. I wanted to show you a couple quick things. I think you know that we had some flyovers that Trump tweeted out here as well. And you'll see that we had flyovers of the Blue Angels, all kinds of things. Real Donald Trump put this on here. I'm going to turn the sound off here and just kind of show this for a while. But it's so cool to see. This is a tribute to in New York first responders who have been doing a phenomenal job despite what I believe is a deep state attempt to make it far worse, even causing lives to be lost by keeping things like hydroxychloroquine out or things that make a lot of sense. Hey, Deb Full of Grace, thank you so much. But it's so cool to see that the true patriots are going to win this war, guys. We need to be praying for the patriots in faith, and this is going to happen. The Lord thy God is way more powerful than the entire deep state and Satan and all his dominions put together. Way more powerful. It's not even a contest. So let's keep on praying. He wants to see us involved, have the remnant involved. How pretty cool. You'll see right here, this says, happening now. The U.S. Navy Blue Angels, Air Force Thunderbirds fly over New York City in honor of novel coronavirus first responders. So that is pretty cool. Navy Blue Angels, Air Force Thunderbirds fly over New York City. Very, very cool. That is what we're fighting for, is true patriotism with the power of a country that wants worldwide freedom and the fighting for these freedom that we have in our Constitution. It's really exciting. I wanted to let you guys quickly know that they removed a video of mine for talking about vaccinations. That's how panicked they are. Here's one that was 5 million views. A bunch of doctors. I played this for you guys. This is the doctors right here. You probably remember that doctor right there that did a great job showing clearly that the science is to open up the country. But YouTube takes it down. And YouTube also takes my video down. You'll see right here, community guideline warning I get, and they take the video down that was right here. See if it MSM pushes cabal vaccine, enemy of the people, Blessed Cheat Show. They ripped it out. So I have no access to my own video April 28th. By the way, you can find it on BitChute. You can find it on Backstage. You can find it on Searchy. All my platforms you can find this, okay? Make sure you mute if you're backstage, please. So isn't that exciting to know that even though YouTube took this down, it's everywhere else, okay? So you guys can go find MSM pushes the cabal vaccine. But you won't be able to find it on YouTube, just like you can't find that doctor's video that had over 5 million views, right? That's what we're talking about, a criminal tech company over all this. Hey, I got my sponsor of the day. You're going to go to thepatriotkit.com. You're going to basically go just to thepatriotkit.com. The recent pandemic of the coronavirus is reminding everyone on how easy things can turn from bad to worse. Storages of gun, ammo, toilet paper, and other essentials have strained the country and have caused panic buying. The sad part is 99% of Americans are unprepared for a catastrophic event. This does not have to be you, and one of the best things you can do to invest in a protection is to get a Patriot Survival Kit. Again, you're going to go to thepatriotkit.com. There's a link right down below. You can see this is like an 18-in-1 kit, and it has all kinds of really awesome things in here. You can see it right here if you It's all-in-one, everything you need kit, emergency tools, easy access, proven and tested survival kit, waterproof tools, all weather, long service life materials. Go check this out at thepatriotkit.com. It's got military grade steel, and take advantage of their 50% off sale. Again, limited supply lasts, and may be the very last chance to get yours at this discount before they sell out. Take advantage of now and give your family the power of anywhere in the world. It talks about the power as well on, again, thepatriotkit.com. All right, let's get into the Q drops here. This was fun to see on the 28th, him just posting like mad. I'm scrolling here just to kind of show how many there was. It was quite kind of fun. So the last one we went over, I believe was the one if by two, one if by land, two if by sea. That was on the 18th. So late on the 26th, we got this link of a picture. It looks like somewhere in Washington, D.C. It's a little statue. I think probably somebody's figured out where exactly that is. But the main thing was Maria Bartiromo basically saying, I've heard that Flynn is going to be out of it. Breaking news. Sources tell me at General Flynn will be completely exonerated this week. It was a total fraud, a setup, more tomorrow. And so we heard from Maria. That was awesome. And that's what this, today he starts posting more detail on it. So here's 3 flags, a picture of just the Patriots with 3 flags out. And most people are interpreting that to be 3-star General Flynn. Right, if you look at, he's a lieutenant general and he's got 3 stars. So if you also can link to this big long file here, copy it, put it into Google, and go look at Google Books. Usually that points to some books that Q wants you to look at. Now I haven't figured out people have been able to kind of game that system yet, right? Hey, please do not unmute backstage. I'm gonna have to. We got Gene on, so if you want to have the privilege of being with Gene there, that you got to keep muted on backstage. All right, here we are. I'm looking here. We have. I think I already had the Google search. Let's see if I can find it real quick. If not, I'll just do it real quick for you because it'll probably be better for you guys to show you how to do it anyway. It is. So let me show you what you do. You just go to a new browser and you type in google.com. My default is DuckDuckGo. So you guys might have your default as Google. I wouldn't suggest that. You put in that big, long deal I had there. Thanks, Jim Glennon. If we face God as much as we fear this novel coronavirus, the world would be a wonderful place to live. That's right. Fear the Lord. That's who we're supposed to be fearing. That's exactly right. So once you put that in here and you search, and it'll put you just all the stuff. But then you go to more and go down to books. And this will show you, there's that QAnon, that Invitation to the Great Awakening, that Dustin Nemos and I guess Joe M. and Serial Brain 2 all authored that. You got Puppet Master, The Secret Life of Edgar Hoover. You've got Sheep No More, The Art of Awareness and Attack Survival. And then you also have Washington's Masonic Correspondence. As found among the, it cuts off, see if it says, as it found among, ... That's all it says. So anyway, that's a couple of tricks that you want to do as you're decoding here. And I think that really shows awesome. General Flynn, exoneration coming. Then we have here this, it's a repost of a lot of information we've already had, but it's just really interesting, especially for new eyes. I think it's important for him to do this. So he brings in this figure 3.1, the FBI chain of command, showing that James Comey was over Andrew McCabe, Jim Rebecki was his chief of staff, Lisa Page was his special counsel, and then you had Jim Baker, who was the office of the general counsel. I'm just kind of skipping to some of the key people. And then down here you had Peter Strzok was the lead over both the Hillary Clinton as well as you know, the Trump crossfire hurricane thing. So Lisa Page and Peter Strzok are texting each other the entire time. And you'll see that, so that kind of just shows you. Now, you had some people in here that Bill Priestep, we talk about, who was Peter Strzok's boss. And that went up to Michael Steinbach and John Galcione, depending on what time frame you are. But you had McCabe as well as Giuliano in here. So that was the chain of command. And then he goes and says, hey, FBI chain of command, mid-year investigation, HCR email. So the same chain of command that was over the HRC emails was the FBI chain of command, FISA, Russia, POTUS, Flynn, Stone, Papadopoulos, Manafort. And then he has in kill brackets, they call it, right? And these brackets are CIA Bridge, Brennan Intel Assessment, 17, Ukraine Link. That's talking about the 17 agencies that basically Brennan was the Intel link. Using this Ukraine and this whole CrowdStrike. This is why POTUS in the perfect call talked about CrowdStrike a lot. Because they're the ones that inserted the Vault 7 information as if they were setting up, because they were setting up Russia being the people that hacked the DNC when they really weren't. Okay, so that's what this is all about. FBI chain of command of DNC hack. Again, it's showing us the same chain of command. CIA Bridge, Ukraine, CrowdStrike, Brennan. So we know that CrowdStrike was over the DNC. They were also heavily involved in Ukraine. And they have worked with Brennan being the puppet master of this whole thing. Reconcile in the chain of command plus DOJ plus minus CIA, foreign and domestic. So this DOJ and the CIA, foreign and domestic, right? That brings in MI6 when you're talking about foreign, and it brings in the whole Five Eyes thing from Canada and New Zealand and Canada as well as UK, found guilty. So if the chain of command of these guys are found guilty, indictments, Chapter 115, Class 1 through 99, regarding USA versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3 through 6. Regarding FISA, can the same argument be made regarding mid-year plus DNC plus, question mark. So obviously this is talking some exciting things, and it's talking about the chain of command and these indictments that are coming from the Chapter 115 that have to do with USA versus Brennan, USA versus Comey, USA versus McCabe, USA versus Strzok, and I think there's 6 major ones coming there that'll happen. And if that happens, and they're guilty, so if they're found guilty, what's going to happen? Well, that means that the entire DNC, the entire mid-year deal with the emails up here that they're talking about with Hillary are all what? They're all basically going to show, because they were treasonous, that was invalid investigations that need to be reopened, which they have in many cases. Reference, Public Optics, retired, left refers to fired, forced. Federal Bureau of Investigation, James Comey, director, fired. Andrew McCabe, deputy director, fired. Jim Rebecki, chief of staff and senior counselor, fired. James Baker, general counselor, fired. Bill Priestep, director of counterintelligence, Strzok's boss, fired. Peter Strzok, deputy assistant director of counterintelligence, fired. Lisa Page, office of general counsel, fired. Mike Corton, Assistant Director for Public Affairs, fired. Josh Campbell, Special Assistant to Comey, fired. Michael Staubach, Head of National Security Division, fired. John Glacione, predecessor to Staubach, Head of National Security Division, fired. James Trugel, Assistant Director, fired. Greg Brower, Top Congressional Liaison, fired. Trish Anderson, Principal Deputy General Counsel, fired. Randy Coleman, Assistant Director of Counterintelligence Division, removed. Q. So that's pretty good. So what this basically has updated is for public optics, retired left refers to fired forced. And so now they update it just shows. And then we have all these shills saying nothing's happening. And here over you can see the last 3.5 years, Trump has completely cleaned house, or the white hats I would say, has cleaned house on the FBI, which were completely weaponized. Now it is now back to something that can be leveraged for justice, which we are going to see soon. Here's another graphic that's a repost showing fired, 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 fired. And it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 3. So it's got 21 people all being fired. This is even a bigger list than what we just shot. This time it has all the pictures there. So, all right. So now there we got, that's 3991. And now we move over to, and we can go through all these pictures, but I think you can see that this goes a little bit more deeper than what the other one did, where it's even talking about Josh Campbell, the former FBI. It's getting into John Carlin, Mary McCord, Michael Staubach, Randy Coleman. So this goes into even a deeper look at the DOJ starting to be cleaned out too. Even former Yates, the Deputy Attorney General, being fired as well. So you have basically all of that. And it's always interesting. I always like to try to take this file name and do what I just did in the other one. Go all the way over here to your browser and just type in google.com. Many of those you already have that as your default. I don't have DuckDuckGo as my default. And so then you're going to post that in there, hit enter. And again, it's going to show you everything, but go do more books. That's usually what he's pointing to something here. And that's just pointing to the QAnon and investigation of the Q awakening. It makes me wonder if Dustin's just really smart and now knows this and puts it in his thing. I went down to, he's a pretty great businessman, and he's being taken off. PayPal's completely knocked him completely off. Like 7 different e-commerce platforms has knocked him off. And so it's really a crime what's happening to Dustin Nemos as well right now. Hey guys, quit unmuting backstage, please, if you want the privilege of being back there. Okay, now here we go. We are still moving here. We are moving to 3092. Mueller designed to take in evidence needed to expose the deep state. DOJ block regarding Mueller evidence ongoing investigation. And this is what, I'm just going to admit something right here. Even though there's maybe this 1-2% chance that there's some really deep things where Mueller was actually a gray or white hat, this, I would say Dan Bongino was correct here, right? Where he basically was talking about this a lot of times when I was talking about, well, maybe Mueller's a white hat. It was really clear that Dan Bongino was saying what they're doing is they're attacking everybody that had a relationship with Trump and Hillary. Like Pinchuk was a perfect example where they're criminally giving massive money to the Clinton Foundation, but there was one like $500K speaking engagement to Trump, and they just clamped down on him and used that as an excuse to basically hide all this. So I hope that makes sense. That's exactly what this first bullet is. It was designed to take in evidence that was needed to expose the deep state and hide it by anything that touched Trump at all. Right? That was part of the whole design of the cover-up of the second counsel. Also designed to limit POTUS's ability to maneuver. It was designed to staff full-time until midterm elections to terminate all House, Senate ongoing investigations because they wanted to win the House so they could get rid of all those investigations that obviously the Republicans were doing in the House the first couple of years. It's also designed to safeguard the Democratic Party base from a false narrative regarding Russia collusions. So basically saying, POTUS cheated, it's evil, sky's falling. They could keep that false narratives of the Russia, and all the other crap that the fake news criminal media was talking about in an effort to divide and mobilize for future protests, riots, threats, violence, FFs, the staged incidents and all the shootings that we had and all that type of stuff. Why? Because they want us divided. They want they want to just create this uproar so that people are saying the guns need to go away, and we're saying no, Second Amendment, we keep the Second Amendment, and then we fight each other versus fighting the cabal. That's the whole point here. It was designed to provide fake news with ammunition to sway public opinion, obstruct foreign plus domestic agenda, fuel impeachment removal, fuel anti-POTUS division, prevent unity, etc. That's exactly what we have. That's why the fake news media, the criminal mockingbird media, is truly the enemy of the people, wanting us divided. And that is the main reason why when my course I'm coming out with next week that actually talks about how to red pill people, how to share the reliability of the Bible, how to share the God's good news, those 3 parts. The first part is going to be on the mockingbird media and how if you don't get a lefty or a normie to stop trusting the mainstream media, you'll never get very far with them, okay? Susie, please don't unmute. Now here we go. Mueller designed to mobilize Democratic Party for the midterm vote win. He was trying to demonstrate, also, I missed this, designed to demonstrate to foreign players that the old guard still pulls the strings, as they had Kerry and Obama going over to, but basically, Trump's not going to last long. Trump's going to be out of here in less than a year. Joke's on them. He's still there, and they're all stages of their attacks are over. And now here we go. Mueller designed also to push the Democratic Party backers to donate, GoFundMes and Democratic parties for all these huge fundraisers they had. And also Mueller was designed as a public outcry excuse should criminal charges be brought against them. We're being politically attacked, even though we broke all these massive laws because of the Mueller. The news is fake. The war is real. Q. That's exactly what that whole Mueller thing was. And that's a very important thing to know. Obviously, Q's wanting us to really understand why the Second Council attack was there. It was their major firewall to get to them, right? And so the firewall to protect all the deep state crimes. Well, it's gone now. It's gone right now. So here he's 3993 saying, remember this important fact. Adam Schiff is part of the Gang of Eight intel. It will become critical once the Gang of Eight material is classified. Logical question. If Adam Schiff knew everything he's investigating and stating publicly to be knowingly false, disinformation, why then would he take the course of actions ongoing? Well, we know why it is because all the stuff that happened at Standard Hotel, and he knows that he is history if he didn't take down Trump. Well, Trump's still standing. So it says, did Adam Schiff purposely deceive the American public, thinking the Gang of Eight material plus other classified documentation would never reach public domain? That's exactly right. He was praying for that, wasn't he? AS in kill brackets. It says, Adam Schiff, memo false. If Adam Schiff was privy to the Gang of Eight classified material, would he not know the same facts, truth, as Nunes? Obviously so. And this is one of the other, besides Mockingbird Media, what I was just talking about, second thing I talk to people about, have people go study the absolutely lies of the Adam Schiff memo, the Democratic response they called it, and the Nunes memo. Everything Nunes said was true. And all Adam Schiff did was give the public lies for over a year, trying to hide the deep state crimes. Think Nunes memo versus Schiff. That's what I'm talking about. Think Nunes memo versus Schiff. Just have people go check what happened. I had my Democratic / normie friends completely believe Schiff were complete lies. So that's another way to bring up that Schiff was using the fake stream media, the Mockingbird media, to lie to the public. So I don't think these people want to be lied to knowingly. What if it was coordinated? Q. And knowingly is a legal term for that can bring them right down to treason, right? And then obviously Adam Schiff knowingly lied to the public many, many times. 3994, how does Soros calm secure with DNC leaders? Q. It's interesting. They're going to show us one way here in a second. This is 3995. Says, how does China communicate secure with the DNC leaders? Well, information warfare, Q, in 3996. And the 3997 says infiltration instead of invasion, Q. Obviously talking about JFK's famous speech where the secret societies do infiltration instead of invasion. 3998 says the silent war continues with a period. Now this is exciting. Remember, I've talked to you about this many times. They started with, so the silent war continues. I think it was 6 spaces, and then it went down to 6 periods. Then it went down to 5 periods, and it went to 4 and 3. And we were at 3 for quite a while, then we're at 2 for quite a while. Well, it's at 1 period. Woo! That means there's a countdown going on the period showing that the silent war continues, which means the silent war is going to end pretty quick because it's going to come out in the public. That's the way I interpret that. That this means that we're probably going to have another silent war continues with a period for a while until, boom, the flood is here. Won't that be fun? Hey, Law Dog, thanks for being here as well. Now we turn to 39.99, and yes, we're going to get the Gene's Decode. I know many of you are here for that, but it's about 20 minutes long, and so we will make sure we drain that completely. And here we go. 39.99 says same evidence to free Flynn currently being used to indict others by the grand jury. So he just reposted post 3693, and they underlined the same evidence to free Flynn is currently being used to indict others in a grand jury. The 302s, which are the FBI documentation, official documentation for what happened, were modified. That's going to be 1 count in this indictment. Who listened in, which they shouldn't have been doing, 2 counts, 6 counts. So there's going to be 6 other counts, and maybe this is that. Maybe this is the same indictment, or some separate ones where it's USA versus Comey, USA versus McCabe, USA versus Brennan, USA for that's just kind of what I'm predicting there. Who knows? FBI agent 1P Flynn interview. If FISA warrants were illegal, and then we got if FISA warrant predicted on. Illegal, uncorroborated. If FISA actors purposely withheld exculpatory evidence from the court, that's exactly what happened. Exculpatory evidence is evidence clearly showing that the person was innocent, right? That evidence. So they, especially in FISA, where there's no defendant, nobody can talk for themselves. There's no lawyer representative. It's a secret court, and you're only getting one side of it. So they're required, based upon very strict rules now. That actually is a huge spreadsheet to show. You have to show all the exculpatory information, and those processes were completely broken, and that is were actually created by Mueller back when they had all kinds of FISA problems earlier, back when 15 years ago. So the fact that they broke these rules that they created is going to really be a damning when it comes out here soon. Watch what happens next. Q. So that was just a whole ping here of a repost, and then we get into 4,000. We have 4,000 Q drops. Can you believe that? Here's another one that says that it's a redrop from the 16th, basically talking about this is the way that China is talking to the Democratic cabal, right? I'm talking about the deep state leaders of the Democrats. They're using the Star Wars game as one of the ways they're doing it, because they don't have signal intelligence. We took down Star Wars, right? The Corona satellites 2 years ago. We took out their 7 dwarfs supercomputers, right? And they didn't have signal intelligence because we took that over with the NSA, as well as the White Hats having military intelligence collections agencies, etc. So they had to use things like the Google draft mode. They were using the Xbox. Right now they're also using this online game that you would actually, I think this is a mobile game that you play on your mobile phone. Rebellion or Empire, private invite-only factions, dark to light, Q. So this is how they were communicating, and he gave us a link to the latest game. Game closure announcement. Look at that. So this Star Wars Commander game closure announcement. Another win, because this used to be on the App Store and Google Play Store, right? So it was a app. So they lost their communications with the satellites, lost their communications with the supercomputers, lost their communications with using video games networks such as Xbox network, right? And I think the PS4 as well. Then they had to go to the mobile phone. Well, it's closed too. So good luck communicating, deep state. You're blind. Isn't that funny? I think that's what that's all about. This is part of the information war. 4001. Here is a Twitter. It says, all the walls are falling down. Q. You can see here, Praying Medic, who, another, gosh, he and I'm not sure who's been Q'd the most, but in the Matrix and Praying Medic. That's why SB2 had told me months ago that these two were some of their most valuable add-ons. Shady, Matrix, and they're going to be on tomorrow night, by the way. Matrix and Shady will be here live, going over a couple decodes. They've been doing a lot of decodes, but these in previous Q posts, and I love how they go back to old ones. So it's going to be fun to see, Matrix and Shady tomorrow night on the show, right? Praying Medic says nothing can stop what is coming. Nothing. Q. And we're having some trouble delivering DMs right now. You may be getting DM notifications, but not seeing the messages that were sent. As soon as it is fixed, we will let you know. So this is basically saying all walls are falling down. So even they were using, to me that means that they were also communicating not only with this game, Star Wars, they were also using DMs on Twitter. Right? And that, but as this kind of showed, is that, wow, some of these DMs are being knocked out as well. So I think the white hats are starting to take over parts of the tech giants. They've unleashed my YouTube channel, for instance, but they're still allowing them to take content off my site. It's still completely demonetized. We'll hear from Shady and Matrix, who've been they can't even take super chats right now. They've been completely killed financially. So appreciate you guys and your help through PayPal Direct and Patreon. You guys are so awesome. Really appreciate you. And getting Gene's computer, he's got the laptop up and running. Soon we'll have the desktop up and running. This is the last one we have here. So that was the whole Twitter about DMs coming down. We talk about the game being closed down with Star Wars. And now here we are in 4002. And it's this is a brand new one, I believe. It just came up. It says, this is nichegamer.com. Billionaire George Soros invests $45 million into Activision Blizzard. Interesting, isn't that interesting? $45 million from George Soros going into Blizzard. They're the ones that make things like Wizard of Warcraft and stuff like Warcraft and some of these other games. Thank you, Brenda Elliott. Appreciate that. Dates are important. SWC drop December 16th to closure. Coincidence? Soros investment February 14th. Blizzard. Coincidence? This desperate times call for desperate measures. When, why do you expose what you know publicly? Q. So here it's basically saying that that Star Wars game was closed. I didn't even notice the date of that. See if it showed a date. Doesn't look like. It says, okay, here it is. June 12th, 2020. See, Commander on June 12th, 2020, as of March 13th, 2020, all in-game purchases have been suspended. So this looks like March 13th, 2020. I'm just looking at the date of what this notice said. So this is talking about a December 16th to closure. So they may have announced it earlier, I would guess, is what they're talking about. And all of a sudden, boom, Soros invests $45 million in Blizzard so he can put his backdoor communications to China, his backdoor communications from him to the DW, the deep state Dems, as well as obviously George Soros directly to the Dems and China directly to the Dems through all these new gaming systems, since they've lost their satellites, they've lost their supercomputers, and we've blinded them. So this is how George Soros is getting around it. Desperate times call for desperate measures. When, why do you expose what you know publicly? So obviously they knew this, right? So we have everything, as in the NSA, military intelligence. So why would they say it now? Because they want them to freak out and go, oh my goodness, they know what we're doing. Now we got to be careful of this type of communication. So what are we going to do next? So obviously, we already have all the comms and want them to know right now we have the comms. Time to panic, deep state. Time to panic. Thanks, Megan. I appreciate it. Whew, Gene, I'm sorry. I tried to go as fast as I can. I really want to get to your decode. It's going to be awesome. I have more news, but I'm going to pass on that for a second. I did want to get to my second sponsor real quick, just to knock that out of the way, and then we'll get to Gene's decode. And that is my favorite sponsor, the ones that somebody said one more drop. I'll go back to it in just a second. And this is Noble Gold. Again, guys, the 401k and IRAs that are in precious metals can really give you tax advantages as well as great leverage against stock market, etc. Just a great way to what I would call diversify your portfolio and think through it. So really give them a call here at this number. It's 877-646-5347. The biggest fear people have in situations like the one now with the stock market is not actually losing money. You'd be surprised. The biggest fear is losing the status with their family and their friends, the ones that you've always looked up to. To be working at the checkout stand at a local supermarket when all of your friends are off playing golf or on vacation like you used to is soul destroying. Gold has risen, you ignored it, and you lost out. This has been on the cards for quite a while now. And this bull market in gold actually started in 2015. But you didn't take action before? It's not too late. Putting some precious metals into an IRA or 401k rollover gives you a safety net against anything bad that is coming. Or you might just have some cash sitting in the bank making less than 1.5%, and you've been meaning to move into something different. Get some gold and silver in your hands. Noble Gold has helped thousands of clients just like you. Call 877-646-5347 now. That's again 877-646-5347, or hit the link that's below in this YouTube video. Protect your retirement with a gold or silver IRA. All right, let's just go look at this real quick, Cosensi, and we'll refresh. It's always fun when Q is posting during the live shows, isn't it? 4003, there it is. Looks like our friend Kissinger. So I think we got 402. Let me see. Twitter experience and technical. I love it. They've updated some of these titles. I'm going to back up here just go through some of the titles just real quickly. The Silent War continues. Some of the titles. Redrop. Same evidence to free Flynn currently being used to indict others by the grand jury. Here's a summary of 4000. Star Wars Commander video game to shut down June 12th, 2020. So that is relatively recent here. So that must have been announced, I would guess, when they're talking about look at the dates. 4001. Twitter experiencing technical issues delivering direct messages, DMs. So could that be on purpose because they've shut down the communication between China and the deep state and between Soros and the deep state? Looks like it may be, at least the politicians. 4002. So this is a new one I don't think we've seen. Nick's Gamer, billionaire. Oh no, this is the 45 million into Activision. We did cover that. So here's the one new one. And it is a picture of Kissinger. And it says, the plan. Today, Americans would be outraged if the UN troops entered Los Angeles to restore order. Tomorrow, they will be grateful. This is especially true if they were told, hey, guys, I need you to stay unmuted. I'm going to have to call out each person that does not become unmuted so they'll understand what they're doing. So please be careful. It looks like you fixed it. Thank you. If I just go mute you, you're not going to know what you did. So I'm going to have to call your name out. I apologize for that. So until everybody gets used to that, and it allows Gene to come in and out whenever he wants. Gene, by the way, interrupt me anytime if you want to talk about Kissinger here. But you can see here, today's Americans would be outraged if UN troops entered Los Angeles to restore order. Tomorrow they will be grateful. This is especially true if they were told there was an outside threat from beyond, whether real or promulgated. Could that be the virus that threatened our very existence, the very existence of dying of this COVID virus? It is then that all people of the world will pledge with world leaders to deliver them from this evil. Help us. Bring in the UN troops. The one thing every man fears is the unknown. When presented with this scenario, individual rights will be willingly relinquished for the guarantee of their well-being granted to them by their world government. Henry Kissinger is an address to the Bilderberg meeting at Yvonne, France, May 12, 1992. So here he's in 1992 saying, hey, if we just scare the crap out of everybody and they threaten their existence, they'll welcome troops or they'll welcome a vaccine, right? And be interesting to go search on this I'm not going to take the time because I want to get to Gene's Decode. But it says, why do they want you locked inside? Thank you from the Netherlands, somebody says. Almost every day I listen. Thank you, Ronnie, for our... So now they're talking about, why do they want you locked inside? Why do they want you to panic? Why do they want you to live in fear? Gene and I have been talking to you about that every episode, right? It's time to live in faith and not fear. But the media is trying to get you to live in fear. Stay 6 foot away from everybody. Wear a mask. Don't go out. Rebel against anybody that opens up. Make the Georgia governor feel like crap for just trying to help his people survive, right? Somebody saying, did you notice Map 2.0 in the QMap site? I'm not sure, Damien, what you're talking about there. Why do they want you locked inside? Why do they want you to panic? Why do they want you to live in fear? Why is the media banning anyone who challenges the COVID-19 narrative? This has everything to do with the presidential election. I agree. Thank you, John. Appreciate that. Who benefits the most? Logical thinking. All assets deployed. Win by any means necessary. Q. There's no question this has everything to do with the presidential election. They have to get rid of Trump because they know they're going down without it. And they will do anything to take him out. Who benefits the most from this COVID deal? It is the fact that Joe Biden doesn't have to do debates. It's the fact that Joe Biden can be hidden. It's the fact that the fact that they have to make the economy go down because it was so strong that people usually vote with their pocketbooks, right? So this whole thing is they want you to live in fear. No question about it. Let's see what New York City Mayor, here he is, a tweet from the New York City Mayor, and it said, this is a praying medic says, nothing can stop what is coming. That was just him responding to it. Here's Bill de Blasio. My message to the Jewish community and all communities is this simple. The time for warnings has passed. I have instructed the New York Police Department to proceed immediately to summons or even arrest those who gather in large groups. This is about stopping the disease and saving lives. Period. That's right. Mayor Bill de Blasio creating panic. And I believe they spread this disease in many different ways in New York City to make this as bad as they possibly could. There's an option to click on QMap 2.0 if you go to the top. Yeah, that's just like for Android phones. I have a lot of people don't have Android phones, so I did see that. So if you go to the very top here, there's a new upgrade if you have an Android phone, right? That everybody will see if they go to qmap.pump. So it's a pretty good app, I hear. Doesn't help me. I still have that old one that can't be updated because the criminals at Apple don't allow Gab to be there, and they don't even allow the Q app to be on their platform. As they're worse than Google Play Store. It's like, can you believe this crap that we have to put up with? And now YouTube taking my videos down, taking down doctors' videos, telling people the truth. They literally will kill people in order to try to get power. That is the scary part about what's going on. Hey, let's get to Gene's Decode. Gene, how are you doing?
Now, a little tired, but I'm doing good.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so sorry that we had so many Q posts that interrupted our decode. What's up with that?
Yeah, Q knew I was going to go, so he's like, okay, everybody's paying attention now. Everybody, let's hit them.
Yeah, exactly. So we got 2,244 people on waiting for your decode. So I'm so happy you're here. Josh is here. Thank Josh for being home for a while. I'm so we actually went to the gun range today and practicing. So that's our Second Amendment rights. So anyway, good stuff going on here. So Gene, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Okay. Satanic symbols over America. Luke 8:17. For nothing is hidden that will not be made manifest, nor is anything secret that will not be known and come to light. Symbolism will be their downfall. Q. Follow the owl and the whitehead. Follow the owl and the whitehead around the world. Identify and list. They don't hide it. They don't fear you. You are sheep to them. You are feeders. Godfather 3. Q. And here's some various different little owl symbols. Disney.
Interesting, isn't that? Right into Disney cartoons. We got seven dwarfs even. Got them in here. Yeah. Here's Snow White, Al, and I think that's Snow White, isn't it?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah. So you can see two different ones here. I get, or maybe that's the blow up of it. Have their little owl symbols in the two of the most popular Disney movies, Snow White and Seven Dwarfs. Look at all these owls. I'm not sure what Clang 55 is, but there's owls on these pictures as well, Gene. I'm not sure.
She has a tattoo on the back of her left arm, and he's wearing one on his shirt there.
Mm-hmm. Stars have them everywhere. So owls is obviously a big part of the symbolism, right?
Yeah, it's referencing Moloch.
Which is scary because, as you know, Moloch is the god of children sacrificed, right?
Mm-hmm. What we're coming up big for, so I'd ask everybody from now until May 2nd, pray hard for all the children to be pulled out of the dumps before they're sacrificed. This is their biggest time of the year. We need to be praying all the time.
April 19th to May 1st, is that right? I think it's
yes,
Beltane.
Burgess to Beltane. Beltane's the highest one.
Yeah.
The worst time of the year for us. For them, their highest blood sacrifice day.
Mm-hmm. Here's a bunch more pictures. Owls everywhere. Rings with owls on them. We've got even we have Mickey Mouse doing
owl eyes.
Owl eyes. And Homer Simpson doing the owl eyes. As well as many famous people, even kids, and even puppets doing owl eyes. Wow. And this is one of the
Bohemian Grove
Moloch sacrifice rituals going on, right? Wow. And so look at the whole dress is an owl, right?
Yep. And what dress there is there on the right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to figure out where the owl eyes are. I guess they're in the chest area, I guess. Pretty gross. Okay.
And we got Barry on the right down there.
Yeah.
I think that's Behar on the left.
Yeah, interesting. Their need for symbolism will be their downfall. Follow the owl and Y head around the world. Identify and list. They don't hide it. They don't fear you. You are sheep to them. You are feeders. Godfather 3. Q.
I'll tell you, there's no masquerade party I would ever dress like that for.
Yeah.
That's sick.
This is a Rothschild with his famous picture. It was leaked. The Rothschild.
Yep. Owl on the Y.
Yeah, huge horns here.
That's symbolizing the Y, their family Y.
Yeah. You're talking about Disney in 1937. Do you want to do these, Gene?
New York Herald, 1918. National Press Club, 1908. Bohemian Club, 1872. Illuminati, 1776. Sclerothea, 1859. Yale, 1700. Leeds, 1600. All kinds of different owls. Washington, D.C. And, of course, plus means under white hat control, the PEOC, Presidential Emergency Operations Center, at the latitude, longitude seen there. This secret NOD underground facility is connected to the NSA and the Clowns and American Intelligence Groups, as well as other nefarious groups. It lies underneath the White House with tunnels that connect to the 33rd degree Supreme Scottish Freemason Right Council of 13, the House of the Temple. This is the Grand Druid Council of the 13 Illuminati bloodlines. There's the table of 13.
Wow.
Yeah. And wow, I mean, Jo just gets these pictures. He's just so amazing. Thank you, Jo.
Mm-hmm.
House of the Temple. This is in a dome now.
13 chairs.
Now we have the symbols overlaying that are built into the streets in DC. See the pentagram. We see the triple tau and the compass and the square of the Masonics. And for those that don't understand what the triple tau is, it's the satanic destruction of the cross of Jesus Christ, the Son of God, the one true God of all creation.
Interesting.
So there's how it looks.
The circle with the square in there.
Yeah, and then you can see the tau, the triple tau, which is the upside down cross with one. If it was right side up with the top torn off.
Yeah.
All that in the streets. Then we have the Capitol reflecting pool, the Arch of Baal, also known as the Arch of Palmyra, was reconstructed at the Capitol Mall in Washington, D.C. on Thursday. Too fast, Rick, I'm not there.
Sorry about that.
On Thursday, March 2018, and displayed through Sunday, allowing spectators to marvel at the false pagan god of power, fertility, and child sacrifice worship by the apostate Queen Jezebel and the Bible and ancient Phoenicians and Canaanites. And there's the pole.
Mm-hmm.
There's the owl, and you can see pyramids here, different pyramids.
Yeah.
That's the owl. It's around the White House and the Oval Office, and then the Rose Gardens make the ears or the eyes, depending on your point of view.
Isn't that just wild?
Mm.
Wow.
Well, they sure go out of their way, don't they?
They do. Some more DC maps.
Yep. All kinds of lays in the street. There's a hexagram in the street. A little bigger look at the zoom in there for the owl.
Yeah.
Jimmy just does.
Yep. FEMA cap regions. Wow. I haven't seen this.
Yeah, I thought for people, because I keep talking about it in the dumps. So JL pulled this. It's really great diagram of where the districts are and what is supposed to be the regional control center for each one. So, for example, in Region 1, you can see Boston and New York. It's New York, Philadelphia in 3, Atlanta in 4, Chicago in 5, Denton, where you are, Rick, in 6, Kansas City in 7, Denver in 8, Oakland in 9, Seattle in 10.
Interesting. Now, I did want to say something about this because there's a lot of fear going around about, I believe, false FEMA reports. There's no way that the sophisticated plan to take out the cabal did not include a plan for FEMA. that they're not that stupid. This is a brilliant plan. We're seeing 4D chess being played, right? And so obviously they had a plan for FEMA, and FEMA is not all of a sudden taking over Trump, right? Whatever that false reporting is. Please.
It's the same thing we see with Fauci and the gal with him. They're being held hostage by the White Hats. You keep your enemies closest. Read Sun Tzu's Art of War.
Yeah.
That way you can keep your eye on them. So here's pictures that JO got amazing for each area. Region 1, picture of Boston, Mass. Region 2, New York. Region 3, Philadelphia. And these are actually the headquarters areas within the city. Region 5, or 4 rather, Atlanta, Georgia.
With the address even. Wow.
And if you look at the addresses and you know your gematria, the addresses are very, very interesting. For example, Chicago, Illinois, 6th floor, 60605, 666.
Yeah, there's your three
And then
sixes.
5 5s on the end, and then Colt 93. See it? 536, back upside down, 93.
93 right there, right?
Yeah. So all of these, you see all of these numbers over and over and over. Denton, Texas, Region 6. And the dumps are right under there, by the way.
Dumbs under each one of these FEMA camps.
Yep. Kansas City, Missouri, Region 7. Region 8, and I know this one pretty well. This is what's called the Federal Center. It has a nuclear reactor down underneath that. It goes between Kipling and Wadsworth, from the freeway all the way over to, I believe that's Quincy. It's a big, huge area.
Yeah.
And you have to have military ID to get on there. Region 9 is Oakland, California. Region 10 is Bothell. And there's, as you'll see when I do my last night and today, I have trouble sleeping with the stuff I've been seeing lately. So I was, again, up all night. But I was crunching the new Decode update on all the US, which we'll do after we finish everything else in the world. I now have 306 in the US, which of the 368, I know I've verified 306 now. So Bothell is one of them that's on the list. And then Anchorage is because it's so far away and it's not directly attached, they have a sub office or an area office. Like you see, the addresses have double and triple digits, which is very significant. And you can see the Alaska, they actually do the pyramid symbol there with the keystone missing, or the capstone.
Yeah, that right there.
Yeah, just like the ARCO and a lot of companies that you see, there's almost no company that's a major company that doesn't have a Masonic symbol in it. So if you study your Masonic symbols and look at your car symbols, your oil symbols for gas stations, they're all Masonic.
All right. This is pretty cool and this is, I guess, one of the main things that if you're going to be looking for dumbs, you're going to be seeing some of these symbols, right? You're going to be seeing owls. You're going to be seeing pyramids.
Some of the new ones I found it because people know to do this now. And so I got pictures of stuff going in and out of them. I got people sending me this stuff so I can look for earthquakes without P waves. I can do all kinds of things and see that, because they're taking them out. So it makes it very easy to find. So if you want to search them, please don't go to them. J.O. actually went to Dulce and got followed back into Colorado, got dragged back to New Mexico. Don't go to the local dumb, okay? Especially something like Dulce is not really smart. It's like really risking your life.
Yeah. No question. And then we're excited about the update, Gene, because you've found quite a few more in the U.S. and you've got and you keep finding more and more internationally. So you're delaying a little bit, right, to do a high quality job.
And I've been getting some amazing information with different listings. Like I said, 80 people said that list is old. Well, yeah, that's how 80% of my research is just online. Anybody can do what I'm doing. If they have the patience and the know-how, it's crunching tons and tons of information off the web. And then, of course, I do have some, other sources as well. So if you look at the regional centers, most of them are very close to child centers and primary schools, churches, or probation centers. So they have a ready supply of people, the type of people they want.
Yeah, that's scary, isn't that not?
Jeez. As Q said, these people are sick. And this is really fascinating. Another person in your audience sent me this, which just was stunning to me. I didn't see it until I saw this. It was brilliant. If you overlay the constellation Orion and the constellation Gemini over the U.S., where the stars would be in the constellations perfectly matches where the dumbs are, even including in Orion's case the arch of the bow and the legs and the arms and everything. It's perfect. So as Q said, symbols will be their downfall. You can track where their dumbs are just with the star maps.
Yeah, wow. So I bet you the White Hats knew this, didn't they, when they were unknown
Yeah.
dumbs?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
We call it pattern recognition. You see something and you see the pattern, and then you have a broad base of information, and your mind just picks it up and shows the patterns.
Man, yeah. So obviously this will be posted tomorrow morning. So those of you who want all these show notes, you're going to go to blessedtoteach.com with a number 2 and just sign up for show notes, right? It's on the first page there. You can also, that's where you'll join us backstage. I post sometimes when Gene does a full decode, the backstages will get that obviously a lot earlier. You'll get those in the pieces, each in the show notes. So if you want what I'm showing you right now, go to show notes and sign up for that. And we'll make sure we get this to you guys.
Now, for example, on the Gemini there, you can see it goes right up the ridge crest line. If you look at the recent earthquakes over, you go to USGS earthquake site and look where the earthquakes are, they're falling right on those stars.
Wow. Here you're talking about the earthquakes. We'll kind of show you right with the way Orion and Gemini are. Yeah.
Yeah, especially the ones there in Oklahoma where they've never had earthquakes for 150 years.
Yeah, that is.
Now you have earthquakes there.
That is really interesting how all those earthquakes are obviously not natural, right? And I think we had that one show that actually showed that they're different types of waves even than normal earthquakes, right?
Yeah, you can look up on a search engine P waves and Q waves. If you don't see P waves, which are the deep under earth waves that start an earthquake, you only see the Q. That means that and that's interesting to me, just dawned on me. We only see the Q, then it's not natural.
They're Q earthquakes.
Right. The alliance is at it.
Wow, and so these are just different blow-ups of it. Secret underground railroads, I guess, are similar, identical to the death marches in Nazi Germany.
Yep, that's the maglev train systems.
Why? Because they have been trading human beings as a food and drug source. Adrenochrome, the OrionLines.com. That's where I guess missing 411 2020 earthquakes. I don't think you want to emphasize here on any of these pictures, Gene.
We see that one up there is the Twin Falls up in Upper Idaho, where you're from, Rick, in Upper Idaho there, right? Up Pocatello.
Oh yeah, I grew up in Pocatello, Idaho. Yeah.
Yeah, that big earthquake that was up there.
Yeah.
As well as not just the Twin Falls, but there's several other dams up in that area. But that's a big dam facility line there. As you can see, it follows that star chart really well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then also the points of Texas there, those are also being taken out. You can see the earthquakes in there.
Yeah, tons of them here. I think Idaho is actually hidden right here, because you got Nevada, Utah, Idaho's up here, so I'm not sure exactly what that is talking about. Riverside, but interesting stuff. Dumb update, Arizona.
Yeah, so we had one that I thought was so interesting. Instead of waiting till the end when I go back over all the U.S. ones that I found so many more of, one of your listeners sent this. It was really, really excellent work spotting this in Arizona. And obviously that's a TR3B entrance for a dome.
Wow, that is interesting. The shape of that is very unusual, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. And what is this up here? Homework ad. I'm not sure what that is. That's just, I guess this is what the software was. There's a blowout of it, huh?
This is Shadow Mountain in Carefree, Arizona.
Interesting. It's hidden behind a bunch of mountains, right?
Mm-hmm.
but you can definitely see that from there. And there's another one.
Protection from being seen from the city.
Yeah.
Remember the Granite Mountain?
Yeah.
We had this dome that we did before. That's another picture that JL found. They're really nice picture showing the entrances.
Interesting. It's like a big building here. It's like off a big cliff. It looks like that's not easy to get to. It's a big cliff.
One way, yeah, just one way traffic. It looks like, especially for a big rig.
Yeah.
And you have the, then you have the Y. I had somebody that's in the My Labs and then several Mark Ultras also talk about this, where they bring the kids in here and they separate the boys from the girls. They have different uses for each one.
Oh, wow.
They separate them here so they can load them up into cages in big semis. And Tennessee, another interesting one, Tiptonville.
Some great pictures you just pulled in for us. Thank you, Gene.
And then 2 domes of Puerto Rico, we saw there are massive earthquakes going on there. All of Puerto Rico underneath it, all the way out for 25, 30 miles in every direction, is a massive interlocked dome complex.
Wow.
It was a major part of the hub where they would bring the human trafficking and drugs through from all the way down South America, all the way up Florida, Dominican Republic, Haiti, Epstein Island, of course, Bahamas, Virgin Islands, as well as Puerto Rico. And Cuba also.
October 2019, a bunch of stuff happened there, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't realize that was so wooded.
Now, Puerto Rico's pretty heavily treed unless they cut it back. So it's depending on where you are, it gets a lot of rain. You have a tropical rainforest on parts of it. And one side you have a tropical rainforest, the other side is like Texas. It's pretty interesting because of the mountain range, what they call the spine. It runs through the middle of Puerto Rico, which is a beautiful drive. If people ever visit it, I recommend it.
Great. So you can see this is a 29-page decode Gene just finished up for us that, again, he and his awesome editors are doing and researchers to really give us a lot more detail. So this is part 7. And Gene, you want to kind of give us a prelude to what you think part 8, 9, and 10 might be?
Is that the end of it?
Yeah, this is the 29 pages that we had.
Wow. We missed the McDill. That's unfortunate.
Okay, we'll get that.
We'll get that at the beginning of the next one. Was on there before. I must have sent you the wrong one.
Is it Modell or how to spell it?
McDill.
Mick D-I-L-L.
Yes.
Yeah, looks like we don't have it. But we'll get that next time.
The wrong one. Or it got lost or something. I don't know what happened to it. It was excellent. It fits all this coding. There's a hexagram that you can see. Another one of your listeners pointed out, as well as a pyramid with the capstone and all of that from McDill. Because we are going, Jo and I were going around and around and around trying to get this smooth, and so I guess I sent you one of the last renditions, but not the last rendition.
I'm just grabbing the second one I got here just to see if it's to see if it's more different than 29 pages. Nope, same thing. So okay, we'll get that at the beginning next time. But you've got updates on the U.S., you've got an international, and then the technology, right?
Coming next. Yeah, Joe's working on the international, compiling it now. I've got massive new data on that, a lot of stuff all over the world. So we're going to be starting with that on the next update on part 8. That'll probably be at least 2 parts, and then we'll also have another part which will be just the technologies and the patent listings.
So that's international and technology, and then we'll circle back around with the updates on the U.S. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so that's good. That's kind of the plan. Is probably a couple of part 8 and 9 for international. Part 10 will likely be all the technologies, all those boring machines, and all the massive amount of patents around all the advanced technology that's doing all this stuff, and then wrap it up with a ton more DUMBs in the U.S. Gene has located, or Gene and his team is located. So, I can't thank you so much, Gene, and thank you so much for your expanded team. And boy, that's a big blessing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really helping. Although I'm waiting for my different coordinators to get online because it's going to be really huge. Because right now I'm 516 emails behind, so it was pretty far behind.
Yeah, I wanted to let you guys know is that Gene is organizing a team of people that's going to help him with all these emails so we can answer the questions. So Gene can organize, basically be the commander of a team of people to answer everybody's emails, because when he's getting 400 or 500 a day, you can imagine he wouldn't ever be able to do anything else. And so thank you, Mary. Appreciate that. So just want to let you know that Gene, but that's a big blessing is once he gets that team in, he's going to be able to handle a lot more worldwide. Plus, he's getting tons of information from all these different countries now of new information about DUMBs he didn't know about, or getting more detail about, or getting pictures of that he didn't have before. So these decodes are getting more and more detail. So, wow, Gene, thank you.
Oh, yes. I want to thank both my all my researchers and everything. It was just fantastic work. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and this has all happened like in the last 5 weeks, right? Where it's kind of gone from, well, it's kind of been expanding for the last 6 months, but where you really got a vision to build this team out. Can you explain a little bit how that happened?
Well, because of getting so overloaded with the emails, and then a couple people on different shows when I was, like this, talking live, volunteered to help compile and do research and answer emails. And so, like backstage, and I'm training, and I've got my coordinators in Australia who coordinates Australia, New Zealand, New Guinea, and that coordinator speaks Danish, so does Denmark, Sweden, and Norway. Helps with Norway. I've got a person in Norway that's going to take that, because each country is going to grow. I'm sure it's going to grow. They're growing quickly. The German coordinators, I Zoomed with them, and I'm so sorry to apologize to them. My gun class ran over. I'm learning my Second Amendment rights, and the teacher went an hour and a half overtime, so I was 2 hours late by the time I got home, and they were waiting for me the whole time. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So it was really excellent. They waited for me the whole time, though.
They're talking to you from 2 to 3 a.m. at their time, right? And from Germany time, it's like, wow, that's good.
They were getting all like sleepy-eyed and wiping their eyes, and I'm like, what are you? Wow, you look really tired. What time is there? They go 3 a.m. I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm so sorry.
Right. So some of the information we're getting from Merkel and Tom Hanks, or some of these new anons that have kind of coming on Gene's team, if you will, right? I can still use some volunteers, some people that can help after the fact comments and YouTube, but I can't get to. I get over 100 emails a day and can't keep up with my job in this, and also with Facebook and the comments there, and being a moderator on Facebook. And then obviously Gene can continue. Gene, your criteria is people that are extremely red-pilled, have some medical background, and have a lot of time on their hands to really help really create that community in your area of the world. Is that right, Gene? Any other clarification?
Yes. If you do volunteer, realize that even if it's just you're handling one state, it could easily go to 100. Like I'm at 400 plus a day. It could easily go to 100 or more. And I will, if it gets too much, especially for the big states like California, start dividing the state into pieces too, and have a state coordinator. And I imagine eventually, I don't know if it's going to get this big, but if I have to, I'll have a coordinator for the world, coordinator for continent, coordinator for states, and then individual cities and all of that. If it gets that crazy huge, it might. I don't know, but I well planned it out, and I'm training people. And so right now, primarily, I'm answering the emails. I'm answering are the coordinators. So that's why it's kind of also building up, because I'm spending time I train the coordinators to have nearly, fairly close approximation to my knowledge, so that, and how to answer emails quickly and to go through them and spot the crazies, as they call
Wow.
it. You get crazies, so
So I just wanted to let what Damien was trying to tell me is if you go to QMAP 2.0, it gives you a new design. Doesn't look like it's going to work real well for me. I like to have one large thing for people mobile phone like this. But it looks like there, for those of you who know, is that this is what Damien was trying to tell me. Sorry, Damien. If you go to Map 2.0, there's a different design that might work well. Oh, look at now it kind of came back to this way. So we'll have to see if I can start using. There's a QMap 2.0 design. Looks like it might be kind of cool and nice. So thank you, Damien. Didn't even know that. I love it. I love you guys. I love all the fight feedback we get online and all the help you're giving us, me and Gene, not both financially but also just with your time. It's just what a great movement. We just have and tomorrow we're going to have Shady and Matrix on. So join us tomorrow. They've got some deep decodes they've been doing, looking back at past Q posts. I think they're the best channel on YouTube, etc. That goes over past Q posts and applies them to today. So we're going to be going over some of that. Then that would be Wednesday. Thursday we'll probably be back on Gene if things go well to start the international decode. Is that a target, Gene, or do you think that's more likely?
That's the target.
That's a target.
Sure, what we'll do is get that part that disappeared. I looked through all my email, outgoing and everything. They obviously didn't want that coding for MacDill Air Force Base to be in here. It was in there, and it's gone now. The older one went, and even in my sent file, it's gone. So I get hacked. That's the way it goes. Just disappears out of every nook and cranny I shove it into. They get it all. So I'll start with that to show the symbolism. It'll just be a minute or two, and then we'll start going with the rest of the world. I believe we're going to start with Canada first. So because it's very next door, and then on top of it, that's a massive amount of DOMs up there. So we'll start with Canada, and then we'll head out around the world. We won't be doing alphabetical. Instead, I'm going to go by location, which makes more sense to me.
Okay.
And of course, my German coordinators did help me find some DOMs there too, like we saw with the museum burning. And so again, if people do want to volunteer, realize that an hour or two a week. Thank you very much. Maybe you can help Rick. It's not going to. I spend 4 or 5 hours a day with emails. Okay, an hour or two a week. If I split it up, it's still going to go way beyond that. So, and also, I honor whatever you believe in, as long as you don't believe in our religion or whatever. But for people that help me, I would ask that you be at least that you believe in the one true God of all creation, and that's instead of Satan. I'm not going to have a Satanist working for me. If you're respectful of others, I answer emails respectfully, and if for people who contact me with slanderous or blasphemy, I just block the person instantly. I teach people how to do that, but I honor you if the earth is flat, but for me it's not. So if you're a flat earther, I honor that, and I understand for you it is. And so that's fine. For me it's not. So if you want to volunteer, don't be that as how the earth is for you. That's a stepping stone on the way to more advanced things, and it's just the way it works. So going from as you evolve, essentially spiritually. Okay. And so if you do want to volunteer, and I please ask anybody that would like to, I would love any help I can get, as well as people who speak many languages, because if you look at a map of the world, about the only places I don't have emails are from the only 2 countries in Africa so far, South Africa and Mozambique. And I'm sure that's going to grow. And then I don't have the old Soviet states, except for a couple. I have Czech Republic and Slovakia and Croatia, but I don't have Latvia and Estonia and a few of those. But just about the rest of the world, I have emails coming in. So if you speak foreign languages, then, for example, with my coordinator in Germany, to translate the different decodes that I've done and supply them to those people who are actually setting up their own YouTube channels. They're like Rick. They're setting up their own channels so they can get the decodes
in all these different languages, right? It's like exciting.
Be like we'll have our decodes worldwide, Rick. And I'm going to suggest to you, Rick, that you have once a week, because already you can see we have stuff coming in from Australia and Germany, and my Indonesian guy is going to be online pretty soon. He's going to be Indonesia, Malaysia, Cambodia, Myanmar, Burma, Cambodia, Philippines, and Vietnam. And so these people will be setting up their own channels there. They'll be getting information, and we'll be sharing it worldwide. So the news used to be like that, albeit not very real, but at least you had the local news and then the foreign news back when I was younger. And now you don't see anything overseas. So now we're getting news from all over the world.
Yeah, we're going to see this great awakening happening worldwide here on this channel. It's going to be so exciting.
My God woke me up at 3 a.m. because I had to see some news happening, and then also because of what I'm seeing in some of the dumps that I'm being made aware of, especially like the one in Missouri that guy is so hard for me that I can't, like Q said, those that know can't sleep. That's very true. I'm having trouble with seeing it over and over in my mind. You can't unsee it, so it's a little hard, and it's making me hard to sleep for me. And then it's a weird combination, because then I have a vast excitement with the news from my coordinator in Australia. I'll give you all a hint: Toy Story Cowboy Down.
Yep.
So thank you, Rick, and thank you, everybody. I had a list of all the people who contributed, but we take half the show. So many kind and wonderful people have contributed to help, give me some things to get my studio set up, and my nice big computer set up, and my mic, and all of that, plus being able to help with the people that are helping me too.
Yeah, so, and little did we know,
everybody, I would run by your name, but there's just so many of you. Just thank you so much. It's so kind, and God bless all of you.
Man, thank you so much, Gene. You're going to get that PC filled up and be able to really build out a worldwide network of information for this movement. And I'm just so excited about it. And Gene, you have a little bit of time for backstage after we wrap up here with a prayer?
If you want. Yeah, I got a 15-minute nap before the show. So
okay, awesome. All right, yeah. And so right here, guys, if you go to blessed2teach.com, blessed2teach.com, you can just scroll down and get on the email list right here. You can also send me an email with the contact us. If you want to join Gene and I on backstage, you would go here. And again, we still have the same deal where if you join us, it is a 45% off the yearly plan if you pay in advance. So brings that to like $8 a month or so. So join us backstage. We'll be going there right now for those of you backstage. And with that, I want to wrap up with some prayer. Gene, do you mind starting, and I'll finish it up?
Yes. We pray, Almighty God of all creation, and in the name of you and your Son, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit, that you save the children during this terrible time of Satan's minions in their Council of Nine and in their terrible dumps, where they do the most horrendous things beyond what anyone should ever do to any living creature. That you rescue them, help our brave patriots, give them the armor of God, send your angels ahead to give them protection and to help rescue these children and all of these people being tortured beneath our earth and in our skies and throughout our world, and to protect our brave president with the amazing work that he and the Alliance and the brave generals that are doing this. We thank all of them, and we ask you to give them your protection and to give them your guidance to know what's coming upon them before it is, so they are ready, and to protect them and guide them in the darkness so that they may save these children and end this terrible, terrible thing going on beneath our grounds. And we ask for your great discernment in seeing your truth and in seeing the truth of your word, and to see the lies of the minions of Satan that have infiltrated us, and to be able to give us great discernment. All of these favors we humbly ask of you in your name, the one true God of all power, love, light, compassion, and creation, and your Son.
Gene, sorry.
And the Holy Spirit. As it is said, thus it shall be done and sealed now and for all time.
All right. Hey, people backstage, please, we're praying here. Please don't unmute. Okay. So, Heavenly Father, just thank you so much for this broadcast. And I just pray, like I do before every single broadcast, that only truth prevails on this channel. I pray that we'll get information about anything that needs to be corrected and that we'll correct it, Lord. We want this to be a channel of truth, and just give us discernment. We're going to need it, Lord, with all the disinformation that's out there and all these websites and everything sent to us. Give Gina and I and the others that are expanding to help us incredible amount of discernment of what's true and what's not true, and be able to filter out and really give value on this channel to the people that need information. And may you bless everybody that's listening to my voice now. Give them favor so that others around them will listen to them about the truth of this red pill movement, about the truth of QAnon, the truth of what's happened to the white hat in this silent war, and also, most importantly, the truth about you, the one true God, the one true Jesus, the narrow path, and this awesome gospel that you have, Lord. Thank you for the privilege of being able to talk about you. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. All right, guys, make sure you're praying, please, in faith, that we can take down this cabal and protect the children, especially in this time between now and the first. We need to be praying for the children, please, as much as possible. We really appreciate you guys, and with that, we are going to wrap her up. We'll see you next time. You've just listened to the Blessed Teach Show. You're now empowered with the truth. Don't miss the edited short B2T clips on a new channel called B2T Clips. A big thank you to all the supporters on Patreon and PayPal. You are truly appreciated. For the links to these sites, as well as links for show notes, Backstage with Blessed to Teach, training courses, and more, visit blessedtoteach.com. That's blessed with the number 2, teach.com. God bless, and be sure to go empower others with the truth.